oh, just look at this. I see carti of person with meaning. I see carti of a person with substance. Maybe not explained all the way, but has substance. I would love to see what the substance is here, because I wouldn't like to believe that this is just for shock value. Also, this is a little bit confusing. Carti fucks with Kanye a lot. I wonder what Kanye thinks of this. Kanye and Carti, they're really close. What do you think? What does Kanye think about Carti tattooing Satan? We'll see. All right. Blueface and Bluetooth. We could probably touch back on Andrew Tate real quick. Andrew Tate banned from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Actually, apparently he's not banned from YouTube. Apparently he deactivated his own YouTube. Apparently that's what I'm hearing. He wasn't banned from YouTube, but he did a very smart move, which was before YouTube could make the move, he supposedly deactivated temporarily, or somehow got it like, you know, off the mainstream view. I hope the people who follow these niches understand my point loud and clearly now. Your manosphere and your red pill will never be mainstream. I told y'all this before, and y'all said I was hating. While there are some very useful and very viable and very knowledgeable things that Andrew Tate has said, please believe me that when you speak about, and by the way, here's the thing. I don't think Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, none of these niggas are popular without speaking on women. I think Andrew Tate, I have nothing wrong with what he's ever said about men. He's preaching straight self-improvement. I think Fresh and Fit preaches straight self-improvement for men. But let this be a lesson to everybody around. Women don't need the critique of y'all niggas. It's not fair, but nobody gives a fuck about your fairness. And by the way, they're pushing y'all buttons. And I love Tate, but they just tested Tate. And I'm going to tell you how they tested Tate. Because Tate gained a big audience, bigger audience than even 10 times Fresh and Fit. 10 times what, what's that guy's name called? Kevin Samuels could get. And with that, he realized the quick message that the establishment, what you think is your truth, they're down to test. So for all the people in this manosphere shit, I keep saying, if you don't got your own ecosystem, you should stop preaching this unless you don't want to get that big. So just stay at your little lane and hope to float under the radar. You know why? My nigga Tate, and I love Tate. That's my guy. But he was preaching, yo, you know what I mean? The Matrix. Like, yo, this is whatever. You got to escape the Matrix. Nigga, you've escaped the Matrix. They banned you. The Matrix banned you. My nigga made a video. It seems like he wants to be back on the Matrix. Keep it honest with y'all. So that's the point of what I'm trying to say. Like, there's nobody doing this content altruistically. Everybody's doing it for money and fame. So when you're doing it for money and fame, be very mindful of the platforms that allow you to do it for money and fame. Unless you have your own ecosystem like Alex Jones, which I think Tate's about to get. So salute to Tate. I think he's there. He got to do that. For all you morons, like, oh no, Tate's gonna get back on Instagram. Now listen, Tate won't survive on Instagram or none of these other platforms. If he wants to keep preaching that rhetoric and double down, he needs to get his own platform, make that popular, get people to subscribe to his own shit that's controlled by him, and rock out there. He'll still do good. But that's why I look at y'all when y'all be like, yo, oh no, mainstream. I remember I said this shit. I said, yo, whatever y'all keep seeing, it will never be mainstream. Tate is the first nigga. Well, actually, I'd say, what's that guy's name? Kevin Samuels almost became there, but like he started pivoting. At the moments that Kevin Samuels could have shined, he backed away. He was never like Tate. Tate only recently started like, oh, let me chill. When When Kevin Samuels was with Nicki Minaj, he wasn't the Kevin Samuels who was wilding out on these bitches. Nicki was telling him all type of shit. He ain't tell Nicki none of that. Like, yo, Nicki, I ain't gonna lie to you. Fuck your money. You a low value woman. Like, yo, you're not married. Well, at the time, you're not married, but you got kids. Like, she wasn't saying none of that shit. None of that. He was just like, oh, Nicki, you're a 9. Nicki, you're beautiful. Yeah, because he had to play the fucking game. Tate was just on some, like, fuck this apology shit. Because he thought he didn't have to acquiesce until they banned his ass. I keep telling y'all, we're all on these platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, whatever the case is. We do own our content, but we don't own the platform. And if you want to act recklessly with disregard for whoever who thinks whatever type of way, you got to own the platform. You got to go Alex Jones. But I haven't seen nobody down to go Alex Jones. You can't be saying all this stuff about women this and women that and blah, blah, and then still be like, oh yeah, but still subscribe to my YouTube. No, YouTube ain't gonna be there after a while. If you get big enough. So pray that you don't get big enough. Because Tate did. The moment he got big enough, TikTok banned him, Instagram, Facebook. I watched him drop a video on Vimeo, and this was very sad to me.
You can find who has a 100% approval rate. There's always going to be somebody who disagrees with what you say. If I said the earth was round, there would be a contingent of individuals on the planet who disagree with me. I have no problem with people disagreeing with me. I have no problem with being seen as controversial for some of the things I've said. However, I do have 2 significant problems I would like to address. The first is I do not like absolute and utter lies being told about me. I do not like having long-form video of me.
Hey, listen, I like Andrew Tate, but let me tell you this. The system don't give a fuck about this. And this is where this is where I always look at people who say they don't give a fuck about this shit, because trust me, I was there at a point. I was there at a point to say, man, fuck all this shit. I want to go balls to the wall with it. Why did my dog just run by? I was there at a point. But unless you have the infrastructure set up, we're all lying to each other. We're lying to ourselves and deceiving ourselves to act like these platforms aren't giving us life. I could say, yo, I'm a self-made boss, this and third, but I do need YouTube. I need Twitch. I need my Instagram. I need that type of shit. We haven't weaned ourselves off of that yet. And as I watched Andrew Tate, let me just tell you this. The Tate I used to watch, this was the most humility I've ever seen. And let me tell you one thing about the cancellation mob. They don't stop at the sight of blood. They bite harder. So when this is the first time they've seen Andrew Tate humble. They don't stop and be like, oh, you good now. They bite harder. They want you on bended knees. So this is when I look at it, I'm like, I hear some people like, oh no, he made this video like Facebook's gonna forgive him. No, they won't. They don't forgive Donald Trump. They banned Donald Trump. I think Tate's gonna be good. I think he's super smart, knows how to get his bag. He was already into some shit that people weren't already into in terms of like monetizing what he had going on. His whole thing wasn't about getting money from YouTube and AdSense and Twitch and subscribers and Patreon or whatever the case is. His shit was always, I'm doing some other shit to get people to my Hustlers University. And even though I heard they canceled some stuff in terms of payment processes with that, hopefully he could figure that out. But this is my message for the rest of y'all. Y'all either fly under the radar, or if y'all have dreams and aspirations of becoming as big as Tate, don't get your fucking wings clipped. Because I'm telling you now, what you call is the truth, the mainstream audience does not want to hear. And let me also address this, because people are like, well, Ak, you were hating when you said that about, I said that about like Fresh and Fit. And that's when they had entered the black people mainstream, which is Shade Room, You're On My Page, Center. Black people don't cancel nothing. Yo, literally Blueface and his girl been fighting like Bloods and Crips, and nobody is like really like, let's call the cops like domestic violence. Let that shit hit People magazine, nigga. It's a dub. Let that shit hit like the white people. It's a dub. So Fresh and Fit just has never been in this position. And this is why, I talked to my nigga Fresh, like, I talked to him last night. I told him, I said, bro, this is why every advice I've ever given y'all is just the truth. It's just like, yo, y'all are very successful, but trust me, don't go chasing waterfalls in terms of chasing popular guests and chasing this